We live in a digital age where cell phones and computers are essentially portals that let us access most of the planet from our living rooms via the internet. We can communicate with almost anyone in the world and from almost anywhere in the world. We have the entirety of human knowledge literally sitting in our pockets, and we use that power to post memes.
With great power comes great responsibility.
If you live in the United States, wondering if the government can shut off the internet willy-nilly will probably launch you into a lot of hypotheticals. However, if you don't live in the US, you might already have your answer. In the past year, governments in Bangladesh, Egypt, India, Indonesia, Iran, Iraq, Sudan, Myanmar, Ethiopia, Russia, and Zimbabwe all shut down the internet in all or some parts of their countries in an effort to subjugate their citizens in some way. This is usually done under the guise of stopping harmful riots, but in reality it's mostly used to silence the people and promote tyranny. Having a countrywide internet shutdown isn't just an inconvenience either. It hurts the economy and puts a lot of people out of work. And shutdowns can last anywhere between a few hours and a few months. Imagine if wherever you work, the internet shut down. How much work would you be able to get done? If you're not sure, disconnect your work computer and your phone from the internet and see how much work you can actually get done in 20 or 30 minutes. Even for a lot of blue-collar jobs, the amount of work one can accomplish is rather limited. However, it gets worse than economic and work problems. It actually ends lives. Just last month, in February 2021, a woman in India went to the hospital with heart problems. At the time, India's government had shut down the internet to her region, and the emergency department at the hospital she visited did not have a cardiologist on staff. Normally, the hospital would just contact a cardiologist in a town a few hours away, and that doctor helps the doctors with the patient implement specialized treatment. With the internet shut down, however, the doctors could not help the woman, so the woman had to travel to a different hospital with a cardiologist a few hours away. But by the time she arrived at that other hospital, it was too late, and she died shortly after arriving. Had there been internet access, hospital staff says the woman likely would be alive today, so this didn't need to happen. And this actually happens a lot. No internet access means no cell phone access too, so no phone calls, no instant messaging, etc. Basically, you're back in the 1800s by means of communication, but even they had telegraphs. This means people cannot call an ambulance, doctors cannot call other doctors, medical staff have limited access to patient information, and patients cannot order prescriptions, and so they miss treatments. Every time the internet goes down, people die. Internet shutdowns are usually performed to clamp down on free speech and are an effort to twist narratives and shift viewpoints at the expense of human life. Without any internet access or way to communicate, people have no access to facts and can only see what the government feeds them when the internet comes back on. If this upsets you, it should. It goes against everything it means to be a free speech democracy, and if you want to help, I'll post a few links in the description on how you can help in the fight for internet liberties around the world. However, the big question remains, could this happen in the US? And the answer is yes, unfortunately. According to the 1934 Communications Act, the executive branch may shut down wireless communications in case of a broadly defined national emergency. This includes the internet. Without a national emergency, the president would have to get a court order. The previous president of the United States attempted to change this and wanted to shut down the internet in the same manner that India does. To give you some context of what that would mean, last year, India shut down their internet 129 separate times. That's once every 3 days or twice a week. Internet also does not come back on the same day, and the average shutdown lasts around 3 days, with some lasting for over 6 months. So basically, you could end up with internet only 1 day a week before the government decides to shut it back down. India shuts down their internet more than any other country in the world, and some US officials want to join in, but I don't think that will ever happen in the United States. Last year, a bipartisan bill was introduced to Congress that would prevent the executive branch from shutting down the internet without informing other branches of government, and it would amend the vague verbiage in the 1934 Communications Act to restrict situations when a shutdown is legal. However, people were talking about this bill almost 2 years ago, and since it was introduced last year, no one has looked at it since then. Which is honestly pretty normal for Congress, so no shock there. However, more than anything, shutting down the internet would almost be a guarantee to lose a re-election. And since our democratic system is only kind of broken, politicians still need to be re-elected every few years, so they wouldn't do anything so tyrannical at the expense of their re-election. So to answer the question of this video definitively, yes, the president could shut down the internet, but not without extreme difficulty and grave consequences. So if you live in the US, I wouldn't worry about it, but other countries aren't so lucky. So if you love democracy, check out the links below to see how you can help keep the internet on. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you think I should do my next video on. If you like what you saw, be sure to like this video, and if you want to see more content by me, consider subscribing to my channel. When you've done that, you should check out the sponsor of this video, National Realty Group. National Realty Group is a real estate company with offices located in Southern California. They're a one-stop solution office, meaning the real estate, mortgage, and escrow departments are located all in the same office. That means you can go through the whole process of buying or selling a house without the hassle of being bounced around to different companies. This makes the whole process a lot easier and a whole lot more enjoyable. Give them a call at 951-684-2600, or if you're like me and you don't like talking to people, visit their website